My name is Jeff Ranasinghe. I am a VFX Supervisor / CG Supervisor and part-time director. I've directed the music video for deadmau5, and I also have worked on a number of, a large number of feature films. For example, Marvel has that film Avengers that you might have heard about, and also the most recent game project I worked on was Call of Duty, game cinematics for Black Ops. So that was fun too.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
Jeff, tell us a bit about your presentation today at the SigGraph booth.
So today I'm covering deeps, dependencies, and automatic movie generation. What that basically is I think people are now, and it's good, people are starting to get familiar using the cloud to do rendering. But the power of GridMarkets, in my case, what I was using it for was actually do simulation and rendering and create the final movie file, which is making everything very streamlined. It means that I have to download only the movie file, much easier than downloading like everything.
Why is the topic of deep rendering important?
Well, deep rendering, I think, it's a process that is used a lot, perhaps most high-end studios now. A lot of independent artists don't use it because it uses a colossal amount of data, so they kind of shy away from what it is. So there's not a lot of understanding of what it is. But effectively, it's a great way of combining different elements together and not having to worry about creating mats. And there's a lot of tediousness when it comes to combining different elements. This gets rid of a lot of that and makes it a lot more creative workflow. And instead of having to worry about the huge amounts of data, in my case, I just let GridMarkets deal with that. So that was way easier.
What are the main benefits of deep images in the cloud?
Would be the fact that you can be more flexible, don't have to worry about, as I say, having to consider yourself. Like if you add a new element, you don't have to worry about how that plays with other elements and whether it's in front or behind. You just create it and stick it in and off it goes. Much easier. The convenience is a big reason, to be honest.
How did GridMarkets facilitate your deep rendering?
Well, for one thing, for deeps, the creation of the renders themselves, I mean that's a straightforward thing that GridMarkets help by just giving me that render power. But the fact that they store my data for me means that they can handle this huge amount of data, and I don't even have to touch it. In honesty, like for every deep I create, well actually I'll change that. I download perhaps one deep file just to test it out of like hundreds. So to me this is great because this is a huge amount of data that isn't on my machine, killing my machines, or me certainly not having to download it. Yet I can use the functionality. So that's how they help me out.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much indeed.